Today I will be making a recipe out of the cookbook Marvel Eat the Universe. I love this book especially because eating the universe is essentially what I started doing since I started this channel. And it gives me an opportunity to talk about Marvel comic books, which is a secret love of mine since I was a teenager. It's also the world's worst kept secret. And for any Gen Zers out there, I want to let you know that liking comic books was not cool. It's cool now, but when I was younger, it was really lame to like comic books. This book is written by Justin Warner, who is a celebrity chef with the Food Network. I am assuming he is also a giant nerd, which I fully support. Warner connects every recipe to a character, so today I will be doing his shakshuka recipe, which was associated with Magneto. I want to apologize for my knife skills. I'm really bad at chopping, but I'm very good at flavors, so trade-offs. Magneto is probably one of the most complex anti-heroes in the Marvel Universe. For those of you who don't know, he was actually a Holocaust survivor, and he was supposed to be killed with his entire family, but survived because he was a mutant. So Magneto was recaptured and sent over to Auschwitz, where he actually met a Romani girl he was in love with. The two of them were able to escape during the October 7th, 1944 revolt. They were able to hide in Ukraine and had a baby together. But there was a giant mob in Ukraine that actually burned down the house while the baby was still inside of it. Magneto really struggled with this, and this is where his powers become unleashed. Magda, who is the Roman girl he ran away with, actually did not fully understand how powerful he was until this moment. She ended up running away from him because she was so scared, but while she was away, she gave birth to 2 children who just happened to grow up to be Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch. But if the Marvel Universe wasn't so weird about who owns what, we could have seen that in the movies, but Disney and Fox and Sony all dropped the ball on that one. So Magneto's life essentially is 50 shades of emotional trauma. So he decides to go to live in Israel, where he meets no other than Charles Xavier. The two ended up developing a friendship and also had many debates over the rise and popularity of mutants. They also had these debates without revealing to each other that they were mutants yet. They did eventually have to come out to each other once they were engaged in a battle with Hydra. With all the emotional trauma that Magneto faced, he decided to spend the rest of his days supporting mutant kind by any means necessary. So this is where it gets really interesting when it comes to Charles Xavier and Magneto. These characters were written to represent the civil rights era during the 1960s. Here's a puppy break to ease the tension. Both of these characters are meant to represent different leaders in the civil rights movement during the 1960s. You find one who deeply wants to be integrated and live peacefully, and you want one who wants almost a separation, but they want to protect their people since they have been so deeply traumatized. I have now realized that I spent this entire time talking about Magneto, and I have spent very little time talking about the actual dish itself. Shakshuka is a very easy dish. I'm convinced that almost anyone could make it. It really is just eggs poached in a spiced tomato sauce, and I will link a recipe in the description below. I really love this book, and I would recommend it just because it's so much fun, but I don't understand why Magneto was assigned shakshuka. Magneto was originally Polish, so I think it would have been much more interesting if he was assigned something like goulash or pierogies. But my love for carbs and potatoes knows no bounds, so I really just want to make pierogies. If you'd like to see me do that, please let me know in the comments below. And if you want to impress people really easily, I would recommend making shakshuka. It's really simple, but it's also delicious and very comforting. Thank you all for listening to my long-winded rant about why Magneto is awesome and very complex. I am excited to do more of these dishes, so please like and subscribe.